Come in, darling.
Oh, darling, listen. Don't say I didn't buy the first present for your first offspring. With love and anticipation, Uncle Jacques. Oh, my naughty Uncle Jacques.
Honey.
Darling, look. It's Mother Goose. Oh, darling, look at these illustrations. Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, it's been years. Listen. One day, Little Red Riding Hood was walking through the forest, taking a basket of goodies to her grandmother's house. And suddenly, from behind the bush, stepped the wicked wolf. Dad. Dad? Dad, wake up. Dad. Oh, Dad, this is our honeymoon. Oh, your steps are bored.
When I was a kid, I believed in witches, and big bad wolves scared me out of my britches. I thought about giants and eggs made of gold, but that was back when I was 6 years old. Cut me loose, please, Mother Goose. I'm a big boy now, and there's no excuse, so cut me loose, Mother Goose. Mother Goose, go, go. I read about Snow White and Red Riding Hood. I forgot those stories like a grown man should. But those nursery rhymes got a hold on me. I'm losing my mind. I gotta get free. Cut me loose, please, Mother Goose. I'm a big boy now, and there's no excuse to cut me loose, Mother Goose. Mother Goose, go, go. My love is on one hand, Mother Goose on the other. I'm right in the middle, and I'm starting to smother. I love my love so, but what can you do when Mother Goose or Go-Go's got a hold on you? Cut me loose, please, Mother Goose. I want to be free. Can't you see? I got no time for your nursery rhymes. You're just a quack. Get off my back. Let me off your hook. Get back in your book. I want to say, please go away. Mother Goose, go, go. Mother Goose, go, go.
Where is Mr. Philippe? He's never here when I want him.
He's up in his suite with his niece, Margie.
Whoa.
Oh, Uncle Jacques, I can't think anymore. Everything was so perfect. You loaned us your suite. I don't know why this should happen. And in your hotel.
Well, many wedding nights have been spent here, but I must admit that this is the first time that the groom has fainted. Mr. Philippe here?
I'm waiting for you, Jacques, dear.
I'll just be a few minutes more. I'm expecting a very important call. Please, phone me later, will you? Margie, don't worry. Ted is getting a thorough physical. And Dr. Martel will tell us what ails him. Mr. Philippe here? Oh, you have Dr. Martel. Good, put him on. Oh, good morning, Doctor. How is the groom?
Good morning, Mr. Philippe. Mr. Hastings' only ailment seems to be that bump on his head. Tell your niece I'm sending her healthy husband back to the hotel.
Bonjour, Lucille. Don't touch me.
So Fred in 302 has been asking for you at the switchboard. And that blonde up in 508. Oh, she's threatening to throw herself off the terrace. And the little one down at the cigar counter.
Cynthia.
She wants you to come instantly and check the temperature in her humidor.
Sinclair, I don't know how I could run this hotel without you. And now, if I may, I would like to call upon you to do a special mission for me, a special task.
All you have to do is ask, mon capitaine.
Mon capitaine?
Mon capitaine.
That's better. Sinclair, I am very worried about Margie's husband. Dr. Martel says that he's in good health, but who knows? You know, he might black out again. So without him knowing it, could you please keep a good eye on him?
Mr. Philippe, on my honor, I promise to do my best and keep Margie's husband closely observed.
Thank you.
Mon capitaine.
Carry on.
Yes, lady, I think psychiatrists are important, especially for some of the dinglings that keep these telephones tied up.
You need a psychiatrist.
Oh, come on. Why don't you put your thumb in your ear and go bowling?
You can't talk to me that way. I'm a club woman.
Do you have an inferiority complex?
No, I don't.
Well, you ought to. Because you're definitely inferior.
Joe Pine, I think you're nuts.
What? You can go home now. Your cage is clean. Two-way radio, Joe Pine. Good morning. What's on your mind?
What have you got against psychiatrists, Joe?
I have nothing against head shrinkers. I just object to treating their patients for nothing.
I've been paying my psychiatrist right along.
Are you still taking treatment?
No, I'm happy to say that I've definitely been cured.
Cured of what?
I used to think I was Richard Burton.
Well, that's great. Why don't you call Liz Taylor and give her the good news? Two-way radio, Joe Pine. Good morning. What's your beef?
Hello, Joe. I just heard you talking about psychiatrists. Can you tell me how to find a good one?
You people can sure get hung up on one topic, but if you're really serious, lady, let your fingers do the walking through the yellow pages. You'll find plenty of them there.
I am physically perfectly normal, but for no apparent reason, I took a dive. I think I'm a mental case, Doctor.
Mr. Hastings, I'm not accustomed to strangers bursting in here without an appointment, expecting instant analysis.
Listen, we've got to move fast. This is the second day of my honeymoon, and I haven't even shaken my wife's hand yet.
Please, sit down, Mr. Hastings. That's better. You will help me to approach your problem clinically. Perhaps we can determine just which terrible disease you're suffering from.
This is the first time in my life that I've ever been in an intimate situation with a female that I haven't been able to hold my own.
Exactly when did you black out?
When the wicked wolf said, "Where are you going with that basket of goodies, Little Red Riding Hood?"
Oh, no. I mean, what were you doing at the time?
Oh, we were in each other's arms. I was kissing her on the neck. And she started reading to me from this kid's book. And suddenly... splat.
Perhaps there is some connection between that innocent little storybook and the bump on your head. Let's try something.
What's that?
Just a little something to relax you. A harmless psychedelic drug. It reduces inhibitions to shreds.
But I don't have any inhibitions.
Then what's the harm? You should be feeling wonderful. Excellent. Now listen. Tell me about Little Red Riding Hood.
I can see it all. There's Little Red taking her Saturday night bath, and there's Granny knitting like crazy, making herself a pair of hip huggers. And now Little Red wants the soap. And Granny's giving it to her. Wow, what a hairy soap dish. There's something weird about Granny. Grandma, what big ears you have. Would you believe the Green Hornet? Your eyes are kind of big, too. Would you believe Little Orphan Annie? Grandma sure needs braces. Wow, that's not Grandma. That's the wolf. Oh, poor Red. Help! Help! The wolf! The wolf! Don't worry, Red. I'm coming. I'll save you.
Mr. Hastings. Mr. Hastings, wake up.
Yes, Red.
Are you all right?
Oh, excuse me, Doctor.
Now tell me about Red and the wolf. I mean the relationship between Margie and Jacques.
He's her uncle. Oh, you'd laugh if you could see the way he behaves toward her. Jacques' like a mother hen with Margie. But I wouldn't trust him with any other attractive female.
Sounds very interesting.
Okay, where do we go from here?
Very simple. You get Uncle Jacques and Margie over here, and we'll all sit down and talk this thing out.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Just see that. Uncle Jacques, Margie, meet my head shrinker. I couldn't tell them I'm seeing a psychiatrist or my marriage would be over before it started.
But sometimes a patient's problems are easily solved if the doctor can observe the others who affect him. And I suppose I could postpone my vacation.
I know a great vacation resort. Swimming, tennis, golf. What's your room number?
1209.
Great. Means we're on the same floor. See you later.
Well. I shall be in touch with you as soon as I check the temperature of the humidor.
Hi there, Linda.
Mr. Philip here?
I'm waiting for you, Jacques, dear.
Call me later. I have to check the temperature of Cynthia's humidor.
Mr. Philippe. Oh, Mr. Philippe.
Not now, Sinclair. I have some urgent business.
Mr. Philippe,
Nothing can be more important than my urgent business.
Mr. Philippe, this is an emergency. I have documented evidence.
Sinclair, you are always interrupting me. You miss a very important connection.
Hello? Oh, hi, Uncle Jacques. No, you're not interrupting anything.
He's got better timing than Bob Hope.
We'd love to join you at the pool. Mm-hmm. A few minutes. Bye.
No, Uncle Jacques, we're not doing anything. It's nothing important, really. We'd love to go swimming. After all, swimming is so much more fun than...
Oh, darling, I'd much rather be here alone with you. Well, it's just that Uncle Jacques has been a darling to us, and, well, we can't be rude to him. He wouldn't understand.
At a time like this, I could be rude to the President of the United States, and he'd understand. Hi there, Uncle Jacques.
Ah, Ted, my boy. Good to see you looking well. Where's Margie?
You know how women are. Last-minute makeup repair.
Ted, don't you think the new fountain looks wonderful from this angle?
It's very interesting. Look, here's Margie.
That's an adorable swimming ensemble.
You, Uncle Jacques? Oh, I can't wait to get into that water.
Mr. Philippe! Good idea. Yeah. Don't be bashful. Go ahead, kiss her.
Mr. Philippe! Oh, where'd you come from? Oh,
Sinclair, are you all right?
Oh, I'm so upset.
Be calm, Sinclair, be calm.
Be calm. I'm just trying to give you some private information.
You'll have to keep till I get back to the office.
Meanwhile, let the hotel go to pieces. Do.
Well, I suppose I better go and see what he wants. If you need anything, please feel free to use my bungalow. It's right here.
Have I told you lately you're my favorite girl?
Ted, what's the matter? Thank you. Oh, let me help you. It all happened so fast.
We should get him to a dry place.
Oh, Ted, honey, are you all right?
Your beach bag, miss.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, how can I ever thank you, Miss
Richards. Marilyn Richards.
Well, you are so wonderful, Miss Richards. I'm Marjorie Hastings. If it hadn't been for you, my husband would have drowned.
Oh, I saw him fall. It looked like he tripped over something.
Darling, what happened? That same look on your face.
Mrs. Hastings, he may be in shock. You should let him rest.
Oh, a sip of brandy would be good for him.
No, I have something that will relax him. Would you hand me my bag? Thank you.
What are you doing?
I'm a registered nurse.
Oh. Oh, it sure relaxed him.
He's quite wet. Could you get him some dry clothes?
Oh, of course. He will be all right.
Mrs. Hastings, don't worry about a thing. I'll take care of your husband. Do you feel better now?
If I felt any better, I'd be illegal.
Now, what was the last thing you thought of before you blacked out?
Margie's luscious lips.
No, concentrate. Right after that.
Snow White. The bleach that bleaches bright.
Of course. The advertisement in the magazine. Tell me Mirror, mirror on the wall. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yes, what is it?
Where have you been?
Well, I have other customers, you know.
I am the queen.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Just a minute, I'll have to check.
Well?
Your outfit is divine.
Never mind that.
Oh, excuse me. You are the fairest. Oh, goodness. You'll excuse me, please. The tabulator's going crazy.
Mirror, mirror.
Cut that out. How many times have I told you not to touch that button?
Well, I can't wait around all day. What did you find out?
Well, I have some bad news for you.
What?
Snow White is the fairest of them all.
Snow White? Impossible. I just left her down at the cottage of the Seven Dwarfs. I gave her a poisoned apple and she fell dead at my feet. Poor thing.
When was that?
Oh, just now. I just got back in the house.
Well, somebody came along and revived her.
Revived her? Impossible.
Would I lie to you?
Who revived her?
The handsome prince.
I don't believe it.
Well,
oh, why, Snow.
This kind of apple a day won't keep the doctor away.
Well, I don't know what you're driving at.
Well, if it hadn't been for this nice gentleman here... Well?
Really? I'm the one who should be offended. You come barging in here with a young man you don't even take the trouble to introduce. And then you start accusing me of goodness knows what. And right in my own castle. You should be downstairs cleaning the moat. That's what you should be doing. And furthermore...
I can't thank you enough. Oh! Ooh! I just can't resist things like that. Can you?
No, Snow, don't.
Mr. Hastings. Well?
I looked into the mirror. I had fur.
Fur?
Yes, all over my body. And a tail. And my face.
Yeah. Ah, Sinclair.
oh, it's you.
I am sorry I couldn't talk to you before. What was it you were trying to tell me?
Never you mind.
But Sinclair, this time I promise I will listen. What is it?
It's all the same to me, Mr. Philippe. It's no concern of mine if you want to let the whole hotel go to rack and ruin.
It certainly would, Sinclair, without your tireless devotion to duty. The pressures. Only if there were 28 hours in each day. Now, what was it, Sinclair, that you were trying to tell me, huh?
Well, are you sure you have the time?
Yes, go ahead.
Well,
what is it?
First of all, take your niece. She's such a sweet and lovely girl, but her husband is simply a savage, and I'm sure she's been hoodwinked into this honeymoon. Anyway, Ted is carrying on with a hussy right down the hall, on the very same floor, mind you, and he brought her here, and is keeping your niece in one room, and that scarlet woman in another.
Sinclair, that's splendid.
Heaven only knows what your poor niece will do. I'm sure he's arranging an assignation.
We're on the trail of a furry monster, and when we find it...
Where is this furry monster?
Smokey the Bear.
Kid, are you sure you're all right?
Mrs. Hastings, your husband will be just fine. I've administered the prescribed treatment.
Baby, look, I know I gave you a fright, but we sure were lucky to have a nurse close by, huh?
Well, you are a marvel, Miss Richards. Do you have any suggestions for my husband's activities this evening?
Promise me we'll never part, Melvin.
My darling, nothing will ever separate us again.
Kiss me.
Hey, stupid. How about a little service here? We're starving. Hey, quit looking at the cartoon and get us some grub.
Hello, little pig. Let me come in.
Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
Can you hang on 1 second, please? Thank you.
Excuse me. Where's the dining room?
Straight ahead, ma'am. Then turn right.
Thank you.
Oh, something big just came up.
But I'm waiting for you, Jacques, dear.
I'll call you right back, huh? Thank you. Oh, forgive my impertinence, but aren't you Miss Richards?
Yes. How did you know?
My niece, Margie, told me that her husband, Ted, was rescued today in the swimming pool by a lovely creature who actually answers your description. My name is Jacques Philippe, and I am the owner of this hotel.
Oh, yes, Monsieur Philippe. I've heard about you.
And where, may I ask, is the world's most beautiful nurse going?
Well, I was just trying to make up my mind about dinner.
May I make a proposition?
Proposition?
I guess that's not the right word.
Hardly.
I mean, I meant a suggestion.
I certainly hope so.
Sometimes my English gets the better of me.
Or you get the better of it.
Mr. Philippe, I have something important to tell you.
Not now, thank you. Come to see, I'm busy.
Mr. Philippe, there's been an accident. Marge and Ted.
What? Margie? What happened? Is she hurt?
No. Ted had another one of his fainting spells, and Margie and I helped get him up to the suite. Oh, it gave me a spasm.
Well, that's one too many. I'm going to get another doctor.
Oh, no. No time for that. I'm a registered nurse, remember?
I certainly won't let you get up. Now, that was the third time I saw you freeze, then conk out.
But I feel fine now.
You're staying right where you are until we get an expert's advice.
Margie?
Oh, Uncle Jacques in here. Uncle Jacques. Oh, Miss Richards. I didn't recognize you with your clothes on.
What happened this time?
It was like a nightmare. We started kissing, and then he fainted.
There's nothing to get excited about. We were watching the show at the drive-in movie.
Just watching the show.
Well, we are married.
Almost.
Amour, amour. The newlyweds necking at the drive-in theater, watching the show.
After a while, we were the show. What have I done wrong? Is it me, or is it him? Uncle Jacques, what kind of marriage is this?
Now, come on, Margie, now. We must not jump to conclusions.
Baby, please. I'm fine. I'm fine. Look at me. I'm fine. Now, come on. Give me a kiss.
What, to see you unravel again? Uncle Jacques, please take me someplace where I can figure things out.
Excuse me.
This is a hell of a honeymoon.
Margie, it cannot be that bad.
Oh, I'll be all right.
What is it?
You wouldn't believe it. Uncle Jacques, you're French. Have you had any trouble with women?
All my life.
Oh, I mean...
Have you had any trouble making love?
What?
I'm sorry, Uncle Jacques, but you're the only Frenchman I ever met.
It is a pity, you know. If you were 20 years older, if I was 20 years younger, but then you would be too old for me. I'm going back to Ted.
You tell him I never want to see him again.
And I don't blame Margie. You know what happens every time I take her in my arms? I collapse. I have all the warmth and charm of the blob.
Shouting isn't going to help.
It helps. Sorry. I'm so upset. I can't even think straight.
Well, well. I see the patient has fully recovered.
Uncle Jacques, how's Margie?
Very upset. She says she never wants to see you again.
I lose her.
Has it occurred to you that Margie might expect a little more of you?
You've got to do something dramatic. Something... Oh, well, I'm certain Monsieur Philippe, with his experience, can guide you.
I'll answer it. Yes?
I'm waiting for you, Jacques, dear.
If you cannot wait for me, start without me, for heaven's sakes. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. There once was a lady who locked herself in her suite. Where was it? In Bordeaux. In the chateau. On the 3rd floor.
Margie! 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 Margie, where are you? Come out! If you don't come out here, I'm coming up after you. Come on, baby, don't play hard to get.
You don't love me.
Just let me in and I'll love you like you've never been loved before.
He must have a harem. The beast.
You make me feel like a married wallflower.
Margie, I love you. Now, I've thought everything out, and there's so much I've got to explain to you.
There's nothing to explain. Now, I've diagnosed your case. You're suffering from an allergy. Me.
Look, I'm suffering, all right. Baby, I want you so bad it's driving me batty.
Ted, is that true? Is it true? Is it true?
If you just let me take you in my arms again, everything will be all right.
Who do you think you are, son? Jack and the Beanstalk?
That was a nasty spill. But he's lucky. The bush broke his fall.
Margie is not so lucky, huh? It's becoming clear to me that our groom is sick. He seems to be, how do you call it, disturbed. Well, I must go up and see Margie now.
Oh, Uncle Jacques, I have to go to Ted.
You are not going anywhere. It is time you and I had a serious talk.
Oh, no, but he's lying there. He may be hurt.
The only place where he's hurting is in his libido. Now, don't worry. I saw the whole thing, and he's in good hands.
Mr. Hastings! Mr. Hastings, speak to me.
3, 5, 4, fun. How could a husband be so dumb?
This is no time for a serious talk. I should be with Ted. He needs me.
That would be the worst thing for you to do. Listen, I have been adding things up, and 1 and 1 does not equal 2 in this case.
I don't need a lesson in new math, Uncle Jacques. I just want to know what's wrong with Ted.
Well, I feel that our Ted belongs to that special group of men who are, well, who cannot relate naturally to women. Yes?
I'm waiting for you, Jacques, dear.
This is not the time to interrupt me with your nonsense.
And that idiot had to go and yell Jack and the Beanstalk.
Is there a fairy monster in Jack and the Beanstalk?
No, there's a giant ogre.
And a magic chicken, too. And they're all in your subconscious. You've got to find a way to outwit your subconscious.
But how?
I'll get him drunk.
First, Little Red Riding Hood, now Jack and the Beanstalk. I don't understand.
No, but that's just it. If I get him drunk enough, then maybe I can find out what he's really thinking.
I have seen lambs act like lions under the influence. But, darling, the slightest wrong word can be dangerous. Above all, do not make any reference to these,
Mother Goose stories.
Mother Goose stories.
This honeymoon is turning into a pretty grim fairy tale. I don't think I could go through another one of those children's story binges.
Binges? I wonder. Mr. Hastings, I don't normally suggest this. I want you to let the beast in you run wild. Let your mind roll on. Put a tiger in your think tank.
You mean like this? Oh, the nerve! The gall! The stamina of that man!
You and Margie are going on a binge tonight, and you're going to get sloshed.
Slosh?
Stoned, juiced, gassed.
Hello? One moment, please. Mr. Pine, for you.
Can we ever get away from these telephones?
Joe Pine here. What's your beef? Oh, look, lady, I'm taking my wife to dinner. This is my night off. I don't have any time for telephone calls. Look, call me tomorrow at the radio station. Look, lady, I don't care if your combat boots are too tight. I'm not speaking on the phone anymore tonight. Now look, lady, I'm not going to argue with you. You get off this phone. I'll hang up on you. My wife is waiting. You know what dinner is? I'm hungry, starved.
He met her one blue-eyed night, moonlit, cold pebble sand warmed him to behold. A lovely, dark-eyed queen of soul. His eyes tell all that he loves her so, much tenderness deep within her touch. He loves the dark-eyed queen of soul. Silhouetting ages past go hand in hand, for a love like theirs will last in the promised land. Their story a myth which once was true lives in each heart filled with love that gives. So said the dark-eyed queen of soul.
Boy, lady, with a bag of slugs, you'd be dangerous. How do I know where he is? Call James Bond. Better yet, call Batman. It's for you.
Jacques here?
I'm waiting for you, Jacques, dear. Yes, sir.
Maawoga, Wata Chaga Chiga, Wata Chino Rakani Taga.
Let's get out of here.
No, you're not ready. Teddy, you're ready.
What am I supposed to do? Stand here all night? That man makes me so nervous.
Look, sweetie, while you're waiting for Mr. Philippe, why don't you change into something a little more, comfortable?
Cheers.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Oh, look at that furry animal. Is he cute?
Found a furry animal, but I found you, baby. Baby, wait till we get upstairs. Baby, wait till we get upstairs. You're lovely, you're exciting, you're beautiful.
You're drunk.
You're right. Oh, don't me. I love you. Yeah, like a beast. You know that? I do.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh, I could have... Tonight. The neighbors. Look at the neighbors.
Oh, darling. You kissed me and nothing happened.
Nothing.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way. I mean, you didn't pass out. Come on, let's get up.
I can hold my booze as good as anybody.
Oh, at last it's all right. I don't have to worry about fairy tales.
Fairy tales?
Goodbye, Goldilocks. Hello, heaven.
How happy the newlyweds must be right now, huh?
Lost in each other's arms.
Marilyn, you are a very exciting woman.
Thank you, Jacques.
You know that were it not for an accident, we might never have met.
It's almost as if it were planned.
I have the strangest feeling that we were destined to meet.
And I'm very happy that we did, Jacques.
Marilyn? With you, I could surpass my wildest dreams.
Oh, Jacques.
I know a charming place nearby where they serve delicious coffee. Would you like to go?
It is getting very late, monsieur.
Very well, mademoiselle. This time we start back for the hotel. It is such a wonderful night for romance, isn't it? And to think that Ted and Margie are back together again. They could never have done it without your help. Thank you very much. Shall I come up and see if everything is all right?
That would be...
Miss Philippe, I've been waiting for you.
Nothing.
But I have a full report.
Good morning.
Oh, Jacques, you gentlemen obviously have business to discuss, so I'll say good night.
And now that we're alone, I can speak freely.
So can I? You have tested my patience for the last time. One more silly interruption from you and you're fired.
I can't even concentrate. Oh. I gotta do something about this head. I know. A little bit of the tail of the dog that wagged me. Spill a darn drop.
Good morning. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to speak to Miss Marilyn Richards.
Well, this is Mr. Hastings, isn't it?
Yes, this is Mr. Hastings. I'd like to speak to Miss Richards, please, and make it snappy.
Well, yes, sir. I'll connect you to Miss Richards in 1209.
Hi, old
Mr.
buddy
Hastings,
Doc.
you sound awful.
Yeah, I got a frog in my throat. Hey, wait a minute. I'm gonna drown it. Hey, but don't go away, old buddy Doc. 'Cause I gotta tell you how my life got messed up by Goldilocks. Whew. That's the funniest looking seltzer bottle I ever saw.
Mr. Hastings, what happened?
I just invented a seltzer bottle that squirts bluish smoke.
Of course, the atomizer. Now, Mr. Hastings, listen carefully. When I snap my fingers, you will wake up. You were telling me about Goldilocks.
You see, there would be three bees, three beards, bears, and this sun worshiper was in their house in the forest, teasing their thread, testing their beds. She was flaked out on Baby Bear's bed. Her name Oldie Rocks, Rocky Lock, Broken Box, Moldy Socks.
Oh, you can call me Goldie.
Did you see her? Did you see her? Who was that?
We'll talk it over in the morning when you've had a chance to sober up a bit. Good night, Mr. Hastings.
Mr. Hastings.
You've got to help me. I am desperate.
Don't be so impatient. I wasn't expecting you till much later.
This is an emergency.
All right.
Now let me see. We've got a Mother Goose book, a strange girl, oddly dressed, a furry monster.
And a guy that acts like a 6-year-old every time he tries to make love to his wife.
Now calm down. Tell me. Tell me about when you were 6. No, we're not going to need that. Just relax. Get comfortable. And this time, watch the metronome. You're going back, 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 going back, back. You're going back, back when you were a little boy.
Teddy! Mother!
Do you know what happens to little boys who read things like that? Do you? They turn into horrible monsters with fangs and fur and a long, ugly tail. Here's what you should read, Teddy. Mother Goose will never let you down.
What do you make of that, Doctor?
It's very clear now. Your mother meant well, but she'd planted a time bomb in your head when you were 6. You might have carried on for years without that bomb ever going off.
And all it took was to be in an intimate situation and come face to face with Mother Goose, and I'd go boom.
That's right.
Then I'm cured. I'm cured.
Now, wait a minute. You know the cause of your illness, but that doesn't mean you're cured.
I feel great. I feel like a new man. I'm gonna go and get Margie, and I'm gonna...
No, you're not.
No.
There's only one way to find out if you are cured.
Huh?
Well, this calls for a very drastic step above and beyond the call of Sigmund Freud. But, Mr. Hastings, put your hands on my shoulders.
Ma'am?
Lean forward. Closer. Closer. Very close. Mr. Hastings, what are you thinking? That's not what I'm getting at. Mr. Hastings, kiss me.
I don't suppose you heard any termites? Well, I was just
checking your door here for termites? I'm afraid I lost my balance. Silly me. You see, the termite situation has been shocking. A regular population explosion. Yes. So you know, termites do have very loud heartbeats. Yes, they do. So, be sure to report any termite. We must stamp them out.
Where were we?
He'll think I was kissing you.
Oh, but you were kissing me. And speaking of that, kiss me again. But this time properly, on the lips.
But, Doctor...
We've got to find out if you're cured. Now, do what I tell you. Kiss me. Cinderella.
Sally? Sally?
Hello? Hello?
Sally?
Hello? Desk?
Sally? Sally, for pity's sake, ring Mr. Philippe right away.
Oh, Ernest, you frightened me.
Never mind that. I'm telling you to ring Mr. Philippe this second.
Mr. Philippe, do you know it's 2:45 and there's no one in the place but you and me?
Oh, yes. Da-da-da-da. Sally, this is no time for songs. Just do as I say.
I could get fired.
Sally, this is an emergency.
Now, Mr. Philippe told me not to call him unless the hotel was burning down. And I don't smell any smoke, sweetie. I'm not calling his room at this hour of the morning.
Let me at that switchboard.
Ernest, no, you can't do this. Stop!
You just try it. Stop me.
Ernest, stop! No!
Hello? Miss Philippe, I'm sorry to bother you at this late hour, but...
Sinclair, you have done it again!
Yes, I know, but wait till you hear this.
You hear this! You're fired! Through! Kaput! Fini, you're fired, you hear me?
Ernest, he saw us.
We can't stop now.
Sinclair!
Mr. Philippe!
What are you doing here?
Please don't call me.
You're fired. You hear me? Fired! And don't touch me, what is it?
Mr. Philippe, if you'll come with me at this very minute, we can catch them red-handed. That Hastings person and his girlfriend down the hall.
Hastings? Are you talking about Ted Hastings?
I'm trying to tell you, they're up in her room this very minute. That Letcher and his she-witch. While your poor niece sleeps innocent and unsuspecting. It's up to us to...
What on earth are you talking about, Sinclair?
Please, Mr. Philippe, come with me and see for yourself this salacious exhibition.
Better be right. And wait here!
Oh.
If we can get you to kiss me, in spite of Mother Goose, you'll be cured. You're going to remember about Goldie. You're going to ignore Mother Goose. And you're going to succeed. Get it?
Yes, sir. Ma'am.
We must be certain. Concentrate. Think of me as Margie.
Where are you going?
Uncle Jacques, I was hoping I wouldn't run into you. You're not going to stop me this time. What's the use? He simply needs another woman.
Wait, Marty, wait.
My dear, I'm surprised you didn't do it sooner, the swine.
Uncle, what is he talking about?
Well, he claims to have some information about Ted and another woman.
Mr. Philippe, and on his honeymoon, too. Now, my dear, I'm not easily shocked, but this time I am shocked. Shocked.
Another woman?
Oh, my dear, I thought you knew.
Oh, Uncle Jacques, he must be mistaken. You know that Ted passes out nearly every time he kisses me.
Well, naturally. He's exhausted.
Well, it better not be true, I tell you. If I catch Ted with another woman,
Monsieur Philippe, I tell you, they're in that room this very minute.
Well, I just left him in our suite, and I left him a note, and he was sleeping like a baby.
But, Mr. Philippe.
We better check. Sinclair, lead the way. We follow you.
Mr. Hastings?
Oh, Margie.
I'm not Margie. Oh, dear, I shouldn't have given him the spray.
Sinclair, this is the last piece of nonsense I'm taking from you. Understand?
All right!
Where is he?
Well, if my calculations are correct, he's deep in her arms at this very moment. Cherchez la femme!
Dr. Jill! Screaming Beauty!
Voila! He's vicious!
Mr. Hastings!
She, get her over! I'll teach you to do this to my niece! Madame, we do not allow such behavior in this hotel. Marilyn, has this man been annoying you?
Yes, but it's not what you're thinking. Oh, Mrs. Hastings, I'm happy to report to you that your husband is cured of his ailment.
Yes, but what did he catch in the process?
Mr. Philippe! Oh! Well...
Oh, darling. Darling.
Pardon. Pardon. And to think that you did all this for Margie. I'm very grateful.
Darling, are you still alive?
Margie, baby,
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Good.
Margie! Margie!
I'm waiting for you, Jacques, dear. But I'm waiting for
But Cinderella was a perfect fit. And so the prince asked her to marry him. And so she married the prince, and they lived happily ever after.
Dear, darling, I'm finished this